Come to Papa. Damn, that motherfucker thick. Oh, shit.
Unless you've been living under a rock, you have most likely heard of Druski. The man is everywhere, from commercials to social media. But how does one man become so popular from skits and take over the comedian space? Well, let's start from the beginning.
It's hard. Well, do you have any more questions about that?
While some kids grow up in households with parents that want them to grow up and take on serious professions, growing up for Druski was as chill as they come. His parents were laid back and funny and were huge fans of comedy. His father was a commercial pilot who served in the Air Force and National Guard as a captain and a major, respectively, while his mom worked for the Department of State. So right out of the gate, Druski was surrounded by overachievers. However, the chill, relaxing atmosphere he grew up in encouraged Druski to be funny and be himself. But that didn't make him a lazier person either. He played sports in school and mostly managed to avoid trouble, besides the few times he was caught making jokes in class. Druski grew up watching comedy greats like Kevin Hart, Dave Chappelle, Eddie Murphy, and Cedric the Entertainer with his parents.
Cedric the Entertainer, Kevin Hart,
you gotta
played a big role. Yeah. Eddie Murphy, Bernie Mac.
They also allowed him to put on little shows at home where he made his folks laugh by performing in different accents.
Shotty, what you doing? Get the ding song. That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say. And that's all I gotta say.
Like his parents, Druski was also destined for great things, finishing high school very early. This allowed him to apply to Georgia Gwinnett College before moving on to Georgia Southern University. It was at this point that Druski's life would change forever. Leaving high school and starting college long before his peers is all well and good. But unfortunately, Druski did not adjust well to the change. Instead, he caught a terrible case of depression and fell off from being a model student to one that didn't attend class and spent most of his college days in his dorm. To cope with bad days, Druski fell in love with YouTube, which opened him up to a world of comedy content, especially after the death of Vine. Rather than quit right away, Druski stayed in college for semesters, trying to give his sport analytics major a chance. But that wasn't happening, so he decided to quit in the end. Thankfully, he had friends who supported his decision and encouraged him to lean into his funnier side, and he would do just that. In October 2017, the persona of Druski, as we know, was born on an Instagram skit posted on his account handle, Druski2Funny. His first skits showed the world a character known only as Kyle Roger, a frat bro. Druski would later add more characters to his roster, including a Bubba Joe and the record label executive he's mostly known for today.
Can we get a drink, man? Boy, fuck drink. Who are you, bro?
Well, that's this here episode. And always remember this. Slide right down your leg.
What made Druski's comedy work for many viewers, despite the gazillion sketches posted on the internet every day, is his versatility and charisma. Druski can find humor in just about anything, and his ability to riff off with anybody means he's unpredictable and authentic, two qualities that are greatly appreciated in comedy. Despite his well-known characters, Druski has also played a jealous boyfriend, a rapper, a McDonald's employee, a terrible lawyer, Demon Home, a regular convict, among other things. And just the way he carries each character with perfection makes people forget a second that it's all an act. It's also convincing and entertaining at the same time.
Get back. No liquids, no electronics. Gotta figure this out. I told you guys we are not doing lotion. No lotion in the bag. Let's go.
Unknown to Druski, all these qualities would help him catch his big break in the online comedy scene. Druski stayed on the grind consistently 2 years later, in 2019, he was already beginning to attract lots of attention online. That same year, he made one of the most important decisions of his life that gave him the career he currently has today. He launched Could Have Been Records. While it sounds like a record label, his brand was entirely for jokes, and Druski mostly created it for his online record label boss character. Could Have Been Records sort of brought everything together and gave his IG Live talent scouting show a certain depth that just made everything better. It was like audiences were watching an alternative reality where a ruthless and unpredictable record label boss was making the most insane decisions by the day. It was funny.
This must be like the final boss right here.
Get this nigga the fuck out of here.
Me and 3 BBCs.
Yep. Give him the fuck out.
Say what?
Yep.
Please. Oh my God.
It was wild.
Big black big black gorilla nigga. So what you do, man?
I be dancing.
Weirdly, Druski had gotten the idea from the character and brand model from 2 of the most controversial figures in show businesses, Diddy and Suge Knight. One of them is in prison for murder, and the other has an allegation rap sheet longer than the amount of baby oil found on his property. But Druski didn't admire them for their crimes. He studied them for their business skills. As he said in an interview with Complex, I studied them. I watched a lot of clips of how they do business the right way. Sometimes you gotta push it to the limit, and push it to the limit he did. Any hopes of returning to a career in sportscasting was well and truly over by this point. So Druski knew there was only one way to go with his comedy skits, and that would be to the top. He poured blood, sweat, and tears into Could Have Been Records. Even though it looked like everything he touched so far turned to gold, this time he was a little less lucky. At first, he started as a legit talent show. He wanted to find diamonds in the rough, dancers, rappers, and singers. But to quote the man himself, that turned out to be a big load of doo-doo. That sent Druski back to the drawing board. When he returned, he came back with an idea that was just as wild and fun as his audience preferred. An anti-talent show. This is where the name and the genius of it comes in. Could have been. Rather than finding the next One Direction or Danity Kane, Druski was interested in the opposite. A bunch of people with heart that suck. His talent scouting sessions have grown to be the most popular segment of the show by far, with fans tuning in the hundreds of thousands to watch Druski sit behind a large desk, interrogate talents, or give them a spot on the show for no reason.
Okay.
What your shirt say right there?
A lot of niggas don't make it. That's a fact. Let's get him the fuck out of here. That's true. That's true as fuck.
It shouldn't surprise you to hear that how Druski finds his talents is just as wild as how their auditions go. He basically gets on Instagram Live and picks at random from the fans who tune in to the show. Sometimes he invited potential talents to his live streams.
What's going on?
You know me personally, and you know that I don't like this kind of stuff.
What's going on?
Why does he do these on Instagram Lives? As he explained in an interview with Complex, it's not really about the talent with us. It's about if you got that look. And sometimes it's not even about that. I like to see where their head's at. Sometimes their head is in the right place and the talent isn't. For Druski, he has come to learn that what makes his show so lovable is how wild and unpredictable they are. He explains this in an interview saying, "We remember why everybody watched American Idol. That was for people to see and laugh at the audition side of things, you know? Our favorite thing to watch is when people audition and sometimes the people don't know the words or they don't have the right talent to fulfill the song. It was a great idea to have a show based on only that, where people might not have everything together, but guess what they got? They got heart, they got personality, they're funny. So I think giving them a chance to shine has been a great opportunity." Druski's platform has helped give many talents much deserved public attention, like artists Glock 30K and Adrian and dancers Jason Pleasant and C Nova, which is proof that Druski is making an impact on the future of entertainment and influencing. The best part is that he does all that and still remains funny and entertaining. As a result, his content has gone viral on other social media platforms like YouTube, TikTok, and X, all of which only made Druski more popular. But was it all worth it? Anyone close to Druski would tell you that he's one of the hardest workers they know. When he wasn't performing on camera, Druski was devoted to the grind, something even his mother agreed to in a podcast with comedian Tom Segura. According to her, his success comes from his work ethic and resilience. These qualities make sense when talking about Druski, considering that it only took him roughly 3 years to become a mainstream success. By 2020, 3 years after first posting on Instagram, Druski became friends with Jack Harlow, who was still an up-and-coming artist at the time. Together, the two helped boost each other's brands. Druski opened and hosted shows for Harlow and even showed up in the music video for Tyler Hero, one of Harlow's most streamed songs.
Hey, man. I used to be just like a kid. Girls, drugs, money. I gotta be somewhere later anyway.
In 2022, he featured in 2 more music videos, including Harlow and Drake's Churchill Downs and Chloe and Lotto's For the Night.
Everybody's acting irreplaceable, it's like they ain't disposable.
Before that, Druski was making waves in the rap scene, appearing in Lil Yachty's Oprah's Bank Account and Drake and Lil Durk's Laugh Now, Cry Later. By 2021, it was pretty clear to most people in the showbiz that Druski was an audience magnet. So, it wasn't much of a surprise when Adidas and Revolt Media partnered up to recruit Druski for a digital series called Sneaking In with Druski. The show was Diddy's idea after the Revolt chairman caught the comedian trying to sneak into his mansion.
Don't mind if I do.
But Diddy wasn't the only one to notice Druski's pull. In fact, he was turning the heads of big brands too. For instance, in 2021, he featured in Call of Duty Warzone Season 3 trailer titled Squad Up the World. He also appeared in Beats by Dr. Dre. It's the music TV commercial.
They're called Beats Studio Buds. They have active noise cancellation, transparency mode, 8 hours of listening time, IPX4 rated, sweat and water resistance, 3 adjustable sizes.
And then the Bud Light National TV campaign, which went on to cast them in their Super Bowl, March Madness, and NFL season kickoff coverages. By the following year, in 2022, Druski was partnering up with his old buddy, Jack Harlow, for a KFC commercial. The comedian will also feature in an AT&T ad that same year.
What can I get for you today?
Y'all already know what I want.
Okay.
I'll be over here.
The Jack Harlow meal?
Oh, yeah. Oh, God.
Fast forward to 2023, and Druski was getting drafted for a sketch for the NBA All-Star Game and NBA season draft. But Druski wasn't just doing commercials. He became a regular face in mainstream entertainment, that he was also showing up in actual movies. By 2023, he made the leap to the big screen, appearing in Cameo and House Party, a January 2023 film.
Got backlit.
That's me. That's me.
Later that year, in April, he would play the role of a lead supporting actor in the movie Praise This, alongside Chloe Bailey and Angelica Washington.
What are we gonna do?
I've been praying all night. God gonna come through. I gotta smash. You blessed her with that ass. With that ass.
The cherry on top of Druski's rise to fame has to be the queue of brands lining up around the block to sign endorsement deals with Druski. By 2024, he had popular brands like Prize Picks, Nike, NFL, Amazon, Bud Light, Snapchat, Spotify, Meta, and Google, among others in his pocket. Well-deserved recognition for all his hard work. But how did he fare in his own industry? Was he loved as these brands believe him to be? The simple answer is yes. Druski is a beloved figure by his peers and popular figures in other industries. For example, his Sneaking In with Druski show has featured figures like Young Miami, Tiana Taylor, and one of the most beloved men of all time, Snoop Dogg. His live streams are also filled with celebrities like Chance the Rapper, Ice Spice, Drake, Justin Bieber, Elliot Maya, Chloe Bailey, Kodak Black, 21 Savage, Jack Harlow, and Antonio Brown, who have all joined his streams to watch the comedian pick out new talents.
What are you doing, man?
I'm at the bar by myself.
Yo, what the fuck?
Offline, he's also linked up with popular figures like Rick Ross, comedian and podcaster Theo Von.
Yeah, that Neil deGrasse Tyson, man, we had him in. He's like that. There he is.
Oh yeah, that old dude. He kind of looked. He resembled Michael Jackson dad.
And Baltimore Ravens wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr., who invited the comedian to wait out the pandemic lockdown at his home.
You stayed at Odell during the pandemic?
Yeah, I did, man. Yeah, that was actually around that time when I was getting a lot of eyes on me, man. It was a great scenario for me, honestly.
Outside of his Coulda Been shows, Druski has also had live streams with Kevin Hart and Kai Cenat, which went so viral that the show won Druski the Best Stream Collab Award at the 2024 Streaming Awards.
Hey, this the Asian they was talking about, man.
Druski got the face and body build of Thomas the Train.
Ms. Howard, what are you thinking?
She lied.
It's insane to think that Druski's career started less than a decade ago, yet he's come so far. You can't help but applaud his grind. Off social media, Druski has launched several tours since 2023, like the Coulda Woulda Shoulda, where he performs before a live audience, a combination of stand-up with sketch comedy. And if you're ever in doubt just how many people would come out to watch the comedian do his thing, he sold out the State Farm Arena for the Coulda Fest. Outside of his live in-person shows, Druski is also working on several TV and film productions behind the scenes as both a writer and an actor. One of his recent productions, Coulda Been Love, has taken the internet by storm. It's basically a crazy record label boss meets Love Island.
Respectful, classy, elegant women.
Some people say money can't buy love. $50,000 can.
The hottest women in the world, all competing for the love of one man.
Come to Papa.
That said, while it's not easy to know where his characters begin and end with Druski, he takes what he does very seriously. Recently, he created an umbrella company for all his brands, known as For Lifers, which also contains his very real sports team, Shoulda Been Sports. However, like all things Druski, he had made sure to fill the team with bullshit players. He's also big on merch, having put out loads of shirts and hats that look way too similar to what Cash Money Records put out back in the day. As for his anti-talent record label, Druski hopes to one day go pro, or not. So let me know in the comments, what do you think of Druski? Do you like his content or not?